So while at OM training in 2017, a man came up to me and he asked me, what is the product of an apple tree? And immediately I told him apples. And he said to me, no, it's not apples, it is more apple trees. And immediately I started to think, but there's something more to this. And later on, I learned more about discipleship, about making disciples in such a way that they will also make other disciples. And I became excited about this way, that I can see that there is a way to reach the entire world with the gospel. And it won't be just some people that go out and share in front of large crowds, but it will actually be inside of family groups that is happening, because more apple trees are coming up. And as we are discipling people, they will also disciple others. And while I was at the discipleship school in the north of India, I told this story also to one of the students. It was with translation, and so because they didn't actually understand English. And while I told him that, afterwards he came to me and he said that just it's like a light went on when I told him that story, because he was in business and they used affiliate marketing system to market the products. And then he said when he became a believer 9 months before that, he immediately felt like that should be used in sharing the gospel also, but he didn't know how it will happen. And as I was explaining to them more about the Discovery Bible Study way of multiplication happening, he just was so excited about it. And he told me that when he goes back to his state, he will start with these discipleship groups. Now, a little bit later into the training, into the 2.5 months that we had the training, where our purpose was also to read through the entire Bible. One night I was sitting with one of our other friends and I just heard a loud scream, and we ran outside and we saw that something is wrong. And then this man and his wife, and they had a small daughter about 2 years old, came to the training, and then their daughter actually fell from the roof and she fell on the cement. And we were so shocked, and we just took up the baby. I was barefoot and we ran to the village, because it's quite far outside the village that our training was based in. And we put her in the taxi. We just rushed to the hospital, and all the while just praying that God would save this little daughter. And about 2 o'clock the next morning, she died. And it was a big shock for all of us being at the discipleship school, because we grew close together. And as she all the planning that needed to happen, and those people really were even just arranging for the baby to the dead body actually to go back to their state is really difficult to organize, and we had to borrow money and things. But in the end, they went back, and it was just a devastating time for us, because we also thought, but the training is going to be finished. And we were family. It wasn't like just students, it was like we grew together as a family. And I stayed behind while our leader actually went with them back. And we thought that's the end of the training. But although that man, he was only a believer for 9 months before he came to the training, and also our concern was that maybe he turned away from God. But in that time, God was speaking to him about the story of Job, and how Job also lost everything, but still he didn't curse God. And afterwards, God gave him back so much more. And they went to the funeral. The entire village, like in India, when there's a funeral, the entire village comes. And there were about 300 people. that he shared with, that still he will trust in God even if it is a difficult time. And we were just so amazed to see how God was using him in a time. It was like beauty out of the ashes, that out of this situation that we thought nothing good can come, something beautiful was rising. And 2 weeks after that, they said that they want to come back to the training. So they came back to the training, they completed the discipleship school. And even now I'm also in contact with them. And literally 5 days ago, they contacted me and said that their new daughter is born. And it was just like God was just is confirming that that story about Job, about God taking away, but He's also the one that gives. And in that, He's also giving more. And still, this man is, even in the lockdown time, they are having Discovery Bible studies together. And God is using him in an amazing way. And often, I just think like when we go through struggles, it's like God is building us stronger. And yeah, preparing us for something bigger that He is doing through our lives and building our character through the struggles that we go. And yeah, that family is just such an amazing example for me of what it means to go through suffering, but then to use that for God's glory.